Red flag, sign up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bro, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? You have happy Saturday. Hope you members out there having a great Saturday. Man, listen, I'm not going to be on here very long, but we not here for a long time, but we here for a good time. Because we up one. Hey, we up one. We up one. Okay? I feel like the whole hood made it. Shout out to Willie Simmons. I feel like the whole hood made it. We came up, baby. Dirty ENT. We all we got. If you haven't heard, former Prairie View A&M coach, former FAMU national championship coach, has been selected for the FIU job, man. Pete Thamel dropped it this morning. Shout out to Pete. Shout out to that team over there at ESPN, man. But huge, when I say huge, absolutely huge in just overall of what you're looking for. Like this is the type of stuff, and I'm gonna keep saying it, man. I'm gonna keep saying it. Dion and Jay Hobson are, one is white and one is a celebrity. Willie Simmons is the coach that is the model. He is the standard of what you're trying to be as a guy to make the jump from HBCU, right? Like, let's be very clear. I've talked to a lot of coaches in the space and out of the space, right? And every coach that talks about that they're in the PWI space, they say, Scotty, I would like to coach there, but you get stuck there. You get stuck. Coaches get stuck there. And that is what makes people scared to come into the space because they don't think they can get out, right? They do not think they can get out. And you see the Deons, you see the Jay Hobsons, but they aren't the norms. They are not the norms. They are the anomalies. They the few and far betweens. Okay? They got special circumstances. So Willie Simmons is the standard, right? What you do it at an elite level. You come into this. This is why I tell y'all, there's only a few coaches that can make this jump. Trey Oliver and Willie Simmons. They are the only two coaches that I believe right here, right now, could make that jump to FBS and G5. That's it. That's it. It takes a certain swagger. It takes a certain je ne sais quoi, and it takes winning. You got to win at a high clip. You do. That's why, for me, this was a no-brainer. If you're Scott Carr, this is a no-brainer. 66-24 as a head coach, it's a no-brainer. In the state of Florida, that's like, I'll give you a perfect example. I think that's like North Carolina State hiring Trey Oliver. I think that's a great hire. It's his area. It's his backyard. He knows it like the back of his hand, right? Like if Wake Forest came and got Trey Oliver. You see what, like, those are great fits. I already know the area. I already know the landscape, right? I'm a builder. I can build a program. I can connect with the players. I'm young. I've played this game. I've won at a high level. Like, these are the guys you go get. And Willie Simmons is a staple of that. So again, it's not the Deions, it's not the Jay Hobsons, it's the Willie Simmons of the world that more black coaches need to follow that model. And I hate when I tell you, the only thing is that I hate Willie had to go be a running back coach at Duke to get this opportunity to go and do big things at FIU, which he's going to do, right? But hey, listen, to get paid $500,000 to tell Alabama to run through the 2-hole, to get paid $500,000 to tell Alabama to pick up an A-gap blitz. Hey, Willie, recommend me. I'll be a running back coach at Duke. I'll get back in the gym, baby. Right? So it is what it is. So I'm happy to see that. But listen, to me, listen, first of all, y'all already know where I'm going. Conference USA, baby. Conference, you can catch me at Conference USA. I ain't even know where FIU was. But now I do. Conference USA, here I come. Choo-choo. All aboard. FIU, Miami, here I come. Right? So you already know I'm covering it. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? Now, the next step is, what is that staff going to look like? What is that staff going to look like? I text some people. I reached out to some people. I was curious to see, does he go back and get Coach Rez from Colorado? Does he go back and get KJ Black from FAMU? Does he make it in all? Hey, do you go get the crew back? Do you go get the crew back together? These are some of the questions that now you got to start to ask. Who's his defensive coordinator? Who is he going to be the quarterback coach and the OC? All those things, it comes into play, right? Now, the biggest question is I think it's going to be a Florida staff. From the people that I talk to, they think it's going to be an all Florida staff. And the biggest thing is this to me, though. The biggest thing is this. You got to lock down the state of Florida. This FIU team, let me be this FIU team has to lock down Miami, right? I know you got the U. I get that. I get all that. But anything the U is not doing, you got to go do. You got to go do. You got to lock all those Miami kids up. Orlando, Fort Lauderdale. You got Tallahassee. You got to lock up the state of Florida. Right? Because again, and I think this is the benefit that Willie has that a lot of these coaches do not have. Willie was winning with less. Right? I'm not saying FAMU didn't have its resources, but it also has its hurdles. Just like a PWI is going to have its hurdles. We all get that. So there was hurdles at FAMU. Let's just be clear, right? But there's going to be a pathway for Willie Simmons now that budget is going up. That budget, no, Eric Bieniemy is not Eric Bieniemy should be out at everywhere, right? I was watching Coach JB show. Shout out to Coach JB, Jason Brown, with Smitty, and Coach JB said Eric Bieniemy is not an offensive coordinator. He never called plays at Kansas City. Everybody thought it was his job, but it wasn't. And that's why he keeps failing at all these OC positions, because he is not a traditional OC. So don't hire Eric Bieniemy as an OC. Very clear. So anyway, and that's from JB. I'm just repeating what JB said. So for me, that budget goes up. The assistant coaches pool goes up. That staff budget goes up. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it a buck. Coach Red's got to be my first call. Y'all can say whatever you want. Coach Red's at Colorado got to be my first call. He's got to be my first call. And And it got to be a situation where I'm not saying Coach Rez has a blank check, but it's damn near close. It's damn near close. Because to me, Coach Rez in the state of Florida is unmatched. I don't care who you talking about as a recruiter, because people love to throw that, oh, this person's a great recruiter. This person, listen, man, let me tell you something. I give no credit to any of these recruiters with a major logo. If you got a major logo on your chest, I don't give you no credit. If you at Florida State, Memphis, unless you at one of them podunk schools that nobody be knowing, I don't care none of what you talking about as, oh, he's a great. I don't give a damn what you talking about. It ain't that hard to walk in there with an Oregon sweatshirt. It ain't that hard to walk in with a Clemson sweat. It ain't that hard, okay? It ain't that hard. It's apples to apples. I don't give two shits. What Coach Rez did at FAMU, that was different. That was different. I don't care what nobody said. That was different. And that's why he got the job at Colorado, because everybody else was like, that was different. He got it out the mud, right? So to me, my first call got to be Coach Rez. Got to be. I don't give a damn what you talking about. I don't care about no OC. I don't care about no DC. I don't care about none of that right now. My first call, in my personal opinion, has to be Coach Rez at Colorado. Hey, man, what is it going to take for you to come down to FIU? Head coordinator, senior coordinator, coordinator, recruiting coordinator. I don't get what title do you need? How much you need to get paid? Come back home? Got to be your first call. You got to get him on board. Because once you lock that in, everybody else is easy peasy. Everybody else is easy peasy. Coach Willie already know who he wants as his OC. He already going to have a short list for DC. He already going to have a short list for all that type of stuff. Your recruiting coordinator. And again, and I'm going to stress why Coach Rez is so important. When you've been around Dion, the ultimate marketer, there's going to be tips and tricks and trades and things that Coach Rez is going to say, hey, man, listen, when I was with Prime, we did this and it worked. When I was at Prime, we did this and it worked. When I was with Prime, it did. Those are things that you want to bring into this space, that Coach Rez is going to have that experience of seeing and doing and seeing it work. You see what I'm saying? Because you got to make FIU hot. We all know Willie because we seen Willie. But all these other kids ain't seen Willie Simmons, right? They don't know who Willie Simmons is, right? So that, to me, that's huge. That's huge, right? Absolutely huge. Now, after that, the defensive coordinator is the second biggest. Listen, let's walk this on home. Your defensive coordinator is number 2. If you're a recruiting coordinator, number 1, your defensive coordinator, number 2, your O-line coach, number 3, and your special teams coach. That's my order. Recruiting coordinator. Defensive coordinator. O-line coach. Special teams coordinator. Offense, I feel like the white boy off Remember the Titans. We don't need none of your kind for that. We don't need none of your kind for that. We got Willie Simmons. We don't need none of your kind for that. We good. We good on offensive side of the ball. We good, right? But got to get that DC. Who is that DC? Who's that defensive coordinator, right? That got to get locked down. That got to get locked down. And it got to me, it got to be something I'm not saying you ain't never seen before, but I think for me, a Florida team, it got to be a lot of man and a lot of blitz. That's just my personal opinion. I think it got to be a lot of man and a lot of blitz. Speed, baby. Speed is the name of the game. Man and blitz. We coming in there hot, cocked, and ready to roll. No Diddy. Hot, cocked, and ready to roll, right? That O-line coach, an O-line coach at the FBS level is so tremendous, man. Getting these guys to work together, getting these guys on the same page, getting some big-ass white boys in there, some big-ass black boys in there, some Samoans, Miami and Cubans. I don't give a damn who you get. Got to get them in there, and they got to work together. They got to work together. All right? Got to work together. And then last but not least, that special team. Listen, man, special teams coaches are not important until they're horrible. Special teams coaches are not important until they are bad. You got to lock down a really good special teams coach because you don't want that to get pushed to the side like it's nothing. And then it ends up being a problem for your team, right? You end up losing games. You end up being put in position. You don't get a good enough punter. You don't get a good enough kicker, or you don't cover punts well. You don't cover kicks well. Like that becomes a hindrance in your situation. So when I tell you I am excited, I can't like if I could show you guys my reaction this morning when I got the news of Willie Simmons, you would have thought like I was geeked. My wife was like, yo, what happened? Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, let's go. And she was like, what happened? I said, Willie Simmons just got the FIU job. And she was like, that's great for him. Like it was just, I was so geeked and I was so happy because these opportunities do not come around for great black coaches. And yes, I know a lot of you guys have been texting me about Brendan Marion, I believe his name is, or Brendan Marion, the guy, the OC at UNLV. I absolutely believe he's next up in line. He's a next up and coming black coach that started in HBCU, right? That needs to be a head coach. He's in that progression, but understand how this works. Right? A lot of black people, a lot of black coaches do not get that opportunity without okay, let me say this. There's always a caveat, right? For white coaches, all you got to do is be a coordinator. Okay? Let's be very clear. For white coaches, all you got to do is be a coordinator at a Power 4, G5, and then you're the next hot ticket, right? You're the next whiz kid that needs to be a head coach, right? For black coaches, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's like you get looked at, you're like, okay, he has potential. Even though you're a coordinator, you're a high-level D coordinator, you're a high-level offensive coordinator, you're like, oh, he got potential. But then it's still a risk. It's still a risk for a team to take a chance on you because of what your color is. Let's just keep it a buck, right? So a lot of black OCs and DCs have to get head coaching experience and be successful before they step into the role. But for a lot of white coaches, they don't need that resume. As long as there's some hot shot OC or some hot shot DC, the new hot thing on the tracks, they get those opportunities with no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But it takes a black coach to have to figure out a way to get a head coaching job somewhere and then work his way as a head coach to get another new head coaching job. They don't just walk into head coaching positions like white coaches. I saw some shit. Let me show you the difference. Let me show you the absolute difference of what I'm talking about. Because I want to talk about, I want y'all to look at this. I want y'all to look at this. I want y'all to read this. 6 years ago, Ben Arbuckle was a volunteer assistant at Houston Baptist, delivering Uber Eats and making extra cash. He did not call plays on the college level until 2 years ago at Western Kentucky. today at 29 years old becomes the next offensive coordinator at fucking Oklahoma. At Oklahoma. Again. Not Brennan Marion, who's at UNLV killing shit. Not him. Not Willie Simmons. Not him. Ben Arbuckle, who 6 years ago you probably met delivering Uber Eats if you was in Houston. Again, if you got the right color, you get to skip the line. If a white man on Twitter is putting quite a rise, it happens. This is what happens when you're the right color. Again, I'm going to say this again. This is what happens when you're the right color. It is what it is. So when I tell you, so when I'm in this space, when I'm in the HBCU space and I tell you Connor Maynard isn't good enough, when I tell you Eric Dooley isn't good enough, when I tell you Eddie Robinson and what he's doing is not good enough, when I tell you Fred McNair and what he did is not good enough, it's not that I'm hating. I'm telling you, you're not good. You gotta do it at such an elite level that Bama's gotta sit back and say, how in the hell? He's just that good. That's how great you have to be. That's how great you have to be. Because if Bama's are getting jobs 6 years removed from delivering Uber Eats, and you can't even beat Nick, you can't even score against Nichols. You can't beat a Stephen F. Austin. You can't go to a SWAC championship. You can't win a Celebration Bowl. You can't have a losing season. Again, let's be very clear. Willie Simmons has never had a losing season. Never. 66-24 is another level, right? TC Taylor's on that pathway, right? I don't think he had a losing season his first year. He comes back, he dominates his second year. Let's see what it looks like on his third year. Right? It's those type of things that you just got to be in play for. You got to be in play for. And you got to know some people too. I ain't gonna lie to you. You got to know some people. Let's be real. You got to network. All right. I talked to a coach who's a part of the minority coaching group, like the national minority coaching for football coaches and stuff like that for coaches. I talked to one of their board members, and he said, you know what's the problem with a lot of HBCU coaches? They don't believe in networking. They don't believe in networking. They think that their HBCU network is going to get them outside jobs, and it's not the case. He said, you have to learn how to network. You got to learn how to talk to people. You got to learn how to get your name out there and talk about what you're capable of doing and what you're able to do. And you got to make connections, because in this coaching landscape, that's all this. How do you think Willie got the running back coach job at Duke? He's cool with Manny Diaz. He gave Manny Diaz's son a grad assistant job at FAMU. Like, you hook me up, I hook you up. That's what this world comes down to, is favors. I did you a favor, do me a favor. Right? So you got to have those, you got to build those type of connections. It's not always what you know, but who you know, and who's in that position to do something when you're in the door. Right? Again, now Willie Simmons is in the position to now change somebody's life. And I don't think that should be looked at as lightly. That should not be looked lightly at. Right? I'm not saying Willie Simmons owes anybody, because at the end of the day, it is his job that is on the line. It is his resume that is on the line. But this is an opportunity for Willie Simmons at any point of his time at FIU is to reach back and give a young black coach, an up-and-coming black coach, an opportunity that he got at Middle Tennessee. So I don't think Willie Simmons is going to take that lightly, but at the same time, Willie Simmons got to win. So it's one of those things. Like I listen, I would love to help everybody out, but at the end of the day, I can't help nobody if I ain't got no job, and he got to win. So just be mindful of that, okay? Just be mindful of that. But I'm excited for Willie Simmons. I really am. Listen, you know where I'm gonna be next year. We're gonna be in Miami. Benvenido a Miami. I'll be playing that Will Smith. Anybody when the beat is on all night in the streets till the break of dawn? Welcome to Miami. Benvenido a Miami. Okay, I'm in there. Don't give a damn what y'all talking about. I'm in there. All right, listen. At 2 o'clock, live watch party, Powell State, Southern University, right? If you are not going to the game, you can always check it out with me and Rocky here on the channel. We're going to do a watch party, post-game show after the watch party. All right, so be mindful of that. So we're going to have to shut that stream down and then start up a post-game show, okay? Got to separate it. It'd be going too long. All right, so again, if you are coming back to watch the watch party, make sure you come back here, 2 o'clock, all right? Listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm a holla. God bless.